contracts and holdouts. That is what this episode is about, contracts and holdouts. There's some other stuff that we can talk about, and we're going to talk about on this episode of Pigskin Frenzy for this Thursday, but contracts and holdouts, a big part of OTAs and mandatory mini camps. And we are jam-packed with this episode of Pigskin Frenzy today. We're going to dive deep into 3 teams of OTAs. We're also going to dive deep into who's holding out. And we got a couple of big names and an update on a bigger name, with holding out of mandatory mini camps, as well as new deals being written in stone and new extensions being brought up, as well as some controversy off the field that could bleed into on the field. So we're going to talk about that, dive deep into this. You're not going to want to miss this episode of Pigskin Frenzy, this NFL edition of Pigskin Frenzy. And with that being said, welcome to Pigskin Frenzy on this wonderful and awesome Thursday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Joel Norris, and whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify, listening on Podbean, or listening on Apple, a big thank you for taking some time out of your Thursday to just sit back, watch, and listen to some NFL coverage presented by me. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like each episode, leave comments down below. Spotify, Podbean, and Apple, all you have to do is just share around with others and follow on there as well. X, Instagram, and Facebook, just type in Pigskin Frenzy. Follow lots of pages there. You're going to get episode updates. You're going to get news and highlights from across college and NFL football. You're going to get trivia questions on Instagram stories. Go and answer today's NFL trivia question, as well as all things of the day for Pigskin Frenzy. Guys, the website, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. There you will find a bunch of stuff about home and about me page about me, and you can learn more about me and who I am as your podcast host. You can also go to the platforms page and find all the platforms I just mentioned and click on which one's your favorite and your favorite listening and watching style for the show, as well as our affiliations page with our partners at the Beard Club. Guys, if you want a great shave, significant others of your male counterpart, if you want a great shave, go to the Beard Club. You're not going to be disappointed. Beard grooming kits are 15% off right now on the website. You can get a beard. You can get beard wash, beard balm, boar bristle brush for your facial hair, body wash, 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner as well, loofahs, you name it, razors, you name it, Beard Club products are all there. You can go to my website, click on the affiliations page on my website and click on the logo at www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. There you will find a bunch of stuff. You can click on the logo there, and then you'll go to the Beard Club website and purchase your products. You can also go to my link tree on my Instagram bio, my Facebook bio, and my X bios, and you will click on the link tree and even the YouTube description below. On the YouTube video of this episode below, click down in the description, click the link of my link tree of Pigskin Frenzy, and make sure you're following on all other platforms as well, and click on the link tree. There you will go to my Beard Club link and click on it, and you will go to the Beard Club website. The Beard Club, it is what's best for your facial hair and grooming needs, and they are to be met with the Beard Club. Thank you so much for being our proud partner of Pigskin Frenzy. Guys, NFL day today. Let's talk about what's going on down into the league with OTAs, not just with OTAs. We're going to talk about what's happening with a bunch of stuff, not just with OTAs, but it involves OTAs, including new deals and for the season and holdouts who could potentially bleed into training camp in July and August. And we're not going to want that now, will we? So we're going to talk about that and some off-the-field issues that bleed on to the field. We're going to talk about all of it. Let's keep it right here with Pigskin Frenzy and follow on all platforms and subscribe on all platforms. Man, it has been a jam-packed week for the NFL. And we're going to discuss first the OTA reports, because the OTA reports are going to go by a little bit quicker. We're getting the mandatory minicamp updates. We're getting all the camp updates and offseason workout updates. We're going to probably finish that up and wrap that up next week, or within 2 weeks, and finish up the, wrapping up the camp stuff and talking about just some stuff going around the league. And not only that, we may do some list episodes of the NFL, may have some guests on in the future to talk about some NFL football with us. So Let's talk about the OTA reports, and let's talk about the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans, something I've been keeping up with for a little bit. They look good running their drill. CJ Stroud is ready. He said, and I quote, "I felt like I had a better year than Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen. Maybe Josh Allen in some areas, because Josh Allen led the league in turnovers last year at a certain point. But all the other guys were kind of hurt. So we really can't say that CJ Stroud was better or not better than, because everybody else was hurt. They weren't given that chance to ball out last season. So they were all on the injury list. So CJ Stroud was better than them. But we'll see, and he has his chance to prove it if all remain healthy this season for his second season in the NFL. Stroud rocking and rolling with drills. He looks good running drills. Stephon Diggs, the new wide receiver there, rocking the number 1 jersey for the Texans. He is looking good there. We also got Tank Dell at minicamp following his horrific incident. I mean, with the shooting going on, and it was tough for Tank Dell, but he's recovered. He's back. He's healthy. He's ready to go. He's ready to play some football. He's going to be a big part of this Texans offense come fall, as well as Nico Collins and Joe Mixon. They're running drills as well. That offense looks tight. They look really, really good. The defense is also looking good with Danielle Hunter running drills, running bag drills, along with Will Anderson. They both look good at their respective mandatory workouts and offseason workouts so far. The only thing that concerns me a little bit is a little bit slow in the secondary. I think that's what concerns me just a tad bit, the secondary part, besides just Derek Stingley, because Stingley's doing an excellent job as the Texans defensive back. But we more progression from the secondary is what I'm looking for. But of course, D'Amico Ryans, being the defensive mastermind of a coach that he is, he's going to get that cleaned up. So I'm not too worried about that. But other than that, everything's looking good. They look physical. They look ready to go. And they look like they are trying to go a little bit farther than what they made it to in the playoffs at the AFC divisional round of the playoffs against the Ravens. So they're going to try to get farther than that. Let's hope and see what they do in the fall and in training camp. That was the Texans report of their offseason workouts, and they look good, and they look like they're ready to rock and roll. Let's go to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let's go to Lambeau. Let's go to the Green Bay Packers offseason workouts. Josh Jacobs reporting in, and he's doing a fine job rocking the green and yellow, and he's doing really good running drills. He looks fantastic. Looks like he's getting in good shape for the season. Jordan Love running some drills well, making some good decisions, getting a lot better at his accuracy and timing, and that's what Matt LaFleur and company are hoping for on the offense for the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love. So we got that going. Defense is looking strong on the defensive line. That's what's most impressed me about the Green Bay Packers offseason workouts is the defensive line. The defensive line looks really solid. They look strong. They look physical, and they look like they are ready to go this fall in training camp. So that's what I like. That is what I like to see, especially because you know me, I'm a football guy, right? So I'm a tough, physical, hard-nosed football guy. I go straight for it, right? So that's just me. That's just how I like, playing ball, and they look good and physical and ready to go on the defensive side of things as well. Jordan Love is the key thing that I was looking forward to. I still think that he does need help, obviously. I think he needs more help than what he's got, but I think he will get it. I think that it's going to take a little bit more time, but the Packers made it deep into the playoffs last season. So let's see what they got in fall, coming up in the fall camp. They are projected to go third and finish third overall in the NFC North. The last time I checked on the latest odds in Vegas, at least, but who knows? That always fluctuates and change nowadays in Las Vegas, Nevada. So, but you catch my drift. So they are projected to finish third. Let's see if they finish higher than that. They're running drills well. They're doing good, and Green Bay is looking ready to rock and roll. That was the Green Bay Packers report from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let's talk about one more OTA report and offseason workout report, and the New Orleans Saints. That's what I wanted to talk about. And honestly, with everything going on with Derek Carr, that's what I wanted to talk about. Derek Carr running drills, especially in the new offense that they are trying to produce for the season, right? And Clint Kubiak, son of Gary Kubiak, is the 49. He was last year's 49ers passing game coordinator. Now he's the offensive coordinator for the New Orleans Saints. Under his guide and under his direction, let's see how they look this coming up fall. Derek Carr running drills well, making some accurate timing passes, made some throws that were a little bit under, but not too bad. Alvin Kamara getting ready, Keandre Miller getting ready. Sorry, not Mary, ready. And Chris Olave, guys like that are also running drills. They're going fast. They're going hard. And Clint Kubiak wants a faster pace offense going in for the New Orleans Saints this season. They got an easy schedule. They got an easier schedule than most. And I think that's what's got Clint Kubiak so excited. Bree Brand, after having Pete Carmichael there, Pete Carmichael there for a long time as the OC and as the offensive advisor. He's no longer with the team. He's an offensive advisor under Sean Payton's offense. That's what fits for the Broncos and what fits Sean Payton's scheme. It may not fit Dennis Allen's scheme. We're going to figure out what works best nowadays, and Clint Kubiak may be a guy that could help the Saints move forward. So let's see what happens. They got the talent on offense. Let's see how it goes. The defense, I'm not too worried about. They're running drills fine. They look physical. They look ready to go. I'm not too worried about the defense. Dennis Allen's a defensive coach. He's got the guys ready to go on defense. The offense is my main concern. I want to see what kind of plays they can produce and what kind of style and fast-paced style of offense they can produce this season going into training camp as well. So they all look good running drills so far. Cleaned up a little bit of the underthrows for Derek Carr. Will be fine. Consistency is key with Derek Carr, and that's a big thing that I'm worried about. And consistency is still kind of an issue in these OTA reports that I've been seeing, and let's just see what happens with the New Orleans Saints, and let's just see what goes down with them going into training camp and in the fall. That was the New Orleans Saints OTAs and off-season workout reports. That was the Texans, Packers, and the Saints on the off-season reports and OTA reports. And now we're going to move on to some important stuff. And it involves contracts, and it involves more contracts and holdouts because of those contracts. So we're going to talk about that. That was the OTA reports. Let's move on to some of these contracts and holdouts, and let's talk about some of the record-setting deals first. We're going to talk about the ones that everybody was waiting for, and that was Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson. Everybody was waiting to see, what is he going to do? Is he going to reset the market, and how high is he going to reset the wide receiver market? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Monday, he reset the wide receiver market, and he really did. Vikings have signed Justin Jefferson to a new deal. It is a new 4-year deal, a new 4-year contract worth $140 million. $140 million with $110 million guaranteed. He is the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. Not only that, he is the highest paid non-quarterback contract and deal in the history of the league. He has officially reset the wide receiver market. Congratulations to Justin Jefferson on a fantastic deal. He's earned it in the past 4 years, going on 5 years he has been in. So new deal for him. He's staying with the Vikings for long term, and he's going to try to help out Sam Darnold and even J.J. McCarthy in the offense. Justin Jefferson is going to be there for a while in the NFC North, so get used to him there with a nice deal like that. He's getting paid. And he's quite earned it. And he's honestly the best wide receiver in the National Football League at this point. It's really not, I mean, I wouldn't say it's close. There's a lot of elite wide receivers in the league, but he right now is the best. He has shown why he is the best. He has broken records held by legendary wide receivers such as Randy Moss in the team. He is the fastest receiver in career yards, probably since Calvin Johnson and/or Jerry Rice. He's making history by doing what he's doing. He's the fastest rising star in the wide receiver area in the NFL. He was 2022 Offensive Player of the Year. So he's a solid guy. He's a savage when it comes to running the slot, being on the outside. He's a playmaker, and he is a dynamic force to be reckoned with on the field. So he deserves it. He's a guy that obviously is going to be a threat anywhere he goes. So Justin Jefferson signing that $140 million deal for 4 years with $110 million guarantee. Congratulations to Justin Jefferson on getting that contract. What a deal that he got, by the way. What a huge deal that he has received. So we got that out of the way with the Justin Jefferson situation in the Vikings. He is staying, and he will report to minicamp and training and camps and training camps soon. He will be rocking and rolling. He'll be ready to go, and he'll report, and he is ready to be a Viking for the near future. So Justin Jefferson's in. We got another deal, 2 contracts, and then we'll have 3 holdouts that we're going to talk about, and we're going to talk about another contract situation as well. An extension has been made in the running back area. The running back has been a huge problem with getting paid because of the production that they do on the field. I've been vocal about this on the podcast. I've been vocal about running backs getting what they're earned and what they're worth, and Christian McCaffery has done just that. He has set the example. Finally, someone has heard me or heard other media and has followed suit. The 49ers have signed Christian McCaffery and given him a 2-year extension with 30, I think from what I saw was $33 million for the next 2 years, and as far as I know, it is, let me see, $38 million, an extension, $38 million, 2 years, and he will make $19 million a year. That's the highest paid running back in the league, and he has officially reset the running back market on how running backs can get paid in the National Football League. Congratulations to Christian McCaffery on getting this deal. Without a shadow of a doubt, I think he's the best running back in the league. I've said that for a couple of years now. It's him, and it's Saquon for me. I think that he is a solid running back through the air, on the ground, and he has done everything he possibly can to earn this deal. So congratulations to Christian McCaffery on getting this deal. He's not going nowhere. And the thing was, that's not the contract extension they really need to worry about right now, but they're going to do it anyway, and they're going to re-sign him, and he is proud to be a 49er, and he's going to stay there for the near future. So Christian McCaffery staying as a 49er, but the contract situation they're going to need to be worrying about is the one I'm about to bring up here in a little bit. And before we, bring in that, let's talk about a contract update, and let's talk about Tua Tagovailoa of the Miami Dolphins. So Tua Tagovailoa, he needs a new deal. He's entering his final year of his deal. Time's kind of running out a little bit, but that's fine because a new deal will be in place this summer, according to The Athletic. The Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa are both very happy and very confident with each other that they are going to get a deal worked out over the summer before training camp or before the season starts itself. So they're confident that a deal will be made and a deal will be in place and it will be signed over anytime over the summer. So now throughout the rest of the summer, watch out for some breaking news on that. He will remain a Dolphin as far as I know. So Tua Tagovailoa still at camp, still reporting. He's still confident about the contract, and he is still ready to rock and roll as a part of the Miami Dolphins organization. So congratulations on that ahead of time for Tua Tagovailoa. A good contract update there and good news for Dolphins fans across the world. So let's talk about some of these holdouts and some of these contract talk updates. Jamar Chase, really quick, not really worried about Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase is going to get a deal done. I think he's going to be fine. Jamar Chase will be with the team for sure. And you really wouldn't have to worry about a deal until next year in place anyway. So next year is when you got to worry about Jamar Chase. But I think right now they're going to work on a deal early so they can sign him ahead of time and not have to worry about it next season. So good on the Bengals. I wouldn't worry about Jamar Chase. Now, T. Higgins is the one I'd have to worry about. Still no word. Still a little bit disgruntled. No word on a new deal. Nothing on T. Higgins yet that I've heard from. T. Higgins, an update on him, and it's a shame because he is a solid wide receiver too for the team. I told you already what he's done well. and he may walk. I would keep an eye on that. It's past June 1st, obviously. He can't really report until that happens. There's no word on T. Higgins yet. He is not reported, and he is everything's still up in the air with T. Higgins in the future of him as a Bengal. He is held out, and he can hold out, and that very well could go until training camp. So we'll see. We can keep an eye on T. Higgins, and we'll see we'll have any more updates on him when we can. So that was T. Higgins. Let's talk about two more. And what I mentioned about the San Francisco 49ers, the extension that they need to be worried about is one Brandon Ayuk, wide receiver for the Niners. He is missing mandatory minicamp. He is not reported. Why is he not reported? Because of no contract extension and no deal has been in place, and they are a little bit far out. They're going two different paths, and they have also called. I posted this about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago during the draft, or a month and a half ago during the draft. It was okay. That the 49ers are preparing to do life without Debo or Brandon Ayuk, or maybe even both, as early as 2025. That's not a good sign. I would plan to keep one of them, at least one of them. And I think that Brandon Ayuk is one that I would like to keep around. I would like to keep both if I could, but I would like to keep Brandon Ayuk. I think Brandon Ayuk is a deep level threat, a vertical threat down the field, and he fits what Shanahan looks for in an offense. And I think Ayuk could be that guy, long term for the Niners if you give him the right amount of money. I think the receivers are looking at this Justin Jefferson deal and they're thinking, maybe I want that. Ayuk is rumored to be wanting a deal similar to Amon-Ra St. Brown as he re-signed with the Lions, and there was a big contract there. He is looking to re-sign a deal like that. And I think that's what the benchmark is for him at this point. The Niners are kind of iffy about it, and they're still talking about it. But Brandon Ayuk is missing minicamp. He's holding out for the time being. Let's see what they can bring up and cook up, and they can strike up a deal soon. Right now, still no word on an extension. It seems like they're getting distant and more distant. And that's not really a good sign and not really what Niner fans really want to hear. So that's the update on Brandon Ayuk. Let's talk about another holdout really quick, and then we will, talk about two big things that bleed onto the field before we conclude today's episode of Pigskin Frenzy. Let's talk about one more holdout, and that's Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. And CeeDee Lamb, he is a man that has been a dynamic force in the NFC East and in the NFC. One of the most dynamic receivers in the league right now. He proved that last season. I want more touches. Please give me more touches. I can be a difference maker. And he certainly was a difference maker for the Dallas Cowboys in a lot of games last season and can be this season. But he is missing mandatory minicamp. Why? Because he wants a deal like Justin Jefferson's. All right, he was waiting to see what Justin Jefferson would sign. If Jerry Jones doesn't give that money, I don't know what's going to happen. He's going to have to report and then, discuss even more in further detail with the ownership and see where they can go from there. Right now, it's looking like one of those things where it's like, you don't want to lose CD, and you got to tread carefully on CeeDee Lamb. He's a very underrated wide receiver. You want him to remain a Cowboy. You do not want him to go to a dynamic team or another dynamic team in the National Football League. You want CeeDee Lamb to stay put. Big thing there. I've said that with Saquon Barkley. I've said that with a lot of other players. You want him to stay there. You want him to stay put. You're going to have to strike up a deal with CeeDee Lamb that fits both sides, of course, and keep him there. Hopefully, y'all can get the job done, Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb is not reported there. He is not. He is missing right now because of contract talks. So that's the latest holdout. I will see if we can have any more updates on T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Brandon Ayuk, and CeeDee Lamb when we get to them. So that was the latest on contract, new deals, new extensions, and the holdouts of all-season workouts so far because of contract. talk. So let's go to two more things really quick before we conclude today's episode of Pigskin Frenzy, and let's talk about Brandon McManus, an update on him. And by the way, let me just issue in a quick apology. I said he played for the Jaguars last week. It totally slipped my mind. He played for the Jaguars last season. He now plays for the Washington Commanders. So the Commanders, I apologize for all the misinformation. I'm not trying to be like that. I'm usually on top of everything, but sometimes your mind gets scrambled, right? So apologies on that and apologies on everything. But the Commanders kicker, Brandon McManus, an update on what happened in the situation going on. If those of y'all who do not know what's happening, he is being sued by two flight attendants from a London trip last year, from a London flight last year, who allegedly were sexually assaulted by McManus. And he was on the Jaguars at the time. He is no longer with the Jaguars. He is with the Commanders. Well, not anymore. The Commanders have officially released kicker Brandon McManus due to the allegations. And it bleeds onto the field. It bleeds onto the brand of the organization. And consequences have to be dealt with. So I don't really disagree with the move. I think it's a smarter move because it kind of hurts your team. Even though you were in the Jaguars, he was with the Jaguars. It kind of is a bad look because he's a part of the team of the Commanders. So it kind of shades and throws some light on everything with the Commanders. The Commanders don't want to deal with all that stuff again. They are quickly going to jump the gun and release Brandon McManus. Hopefully everything changes for him. Hopefully that everything, he finds everything. I'm going to pray for everybody involved in this situation. I'm going to pray for, everything going on. It's a tough situation all around, but McManus has been released from the Commanders. We will see if we have any more updates if they come out, but that's the latest big-time update on Brandon McManus and the situation going on there. So one more update before we conclude today's episode of Pigskin Frenzy, and involves the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs, during the offseason, it seems like there's a lot going on off the field that can bleed on to the branding part of on the field. Besides the Harrison Butker situation, that's personal. I don't really count that because it's personal. But the Rashee Rice thing, and now that's one thing. But he is reported to the team. He's working out with the team. And then we got Chiefs defensive lineman Isaiah Buggs. He was recently in Tuscaloosa. He had a warrant put out for his arrest due to a couple of misdemeanors that involve mistreatment of two dogs, and alleged mistreatment, animal cruelty. If you want to be, pretty much into it, I guess, if you want to be more in depth and put it in layman's terms and basic terms. But he has turned himself in, and he is now, well, he's not really into custody anymore. He was bailed out. He made bail and bond for $600. He paid it. He's out. He's gone, and he turned himself in to the police in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Now, I do not know if he is reported and he is back in Kansas City with the Chiefs after that allegation. I don't know any more updates on the situation besides just what I just told you now. There may be more further updates. I got to, look into it and, probably talk to some people in Tuscaloosa, but it's one of those situations where it's kind of sad. It's kind of heartbreaking, and it puts a lot of rep on the Kansas City Chiefs, and you don't want to keep doing that. Almost like I can compare it to college football. I can compare it to the Georgia situation. A lot of automobile incidents involving arrests with Georgia going on. A lot of legal trouble on the off the field stuff with Chiefs going on, and it's just kind of one of those things where you look at it and you're like, man, there were two arrests involving the secondary and the Chiefs. There's Rashee Rice. Now there's Isaiah Buggs. There's a lot of stuff going on spreading around the team. I pray for everybody. I pray that for everybody involved, and I hope everybody cleans up everything and gets right and gets ready to rock and roll and, bring it to the field, and keep playing football and make yourself look good on the field. And not only that, clean up yourself off the field, and branding matters. I keep saying this, especially to the Kansas City Chiefs and about everybody else. Branding matters. And branding matters off the field, and it bleeds on to on the field because it's going to make you look bad on the field as well. Branding and everything, how you carry yourself as a professional athlete in general, professional athlete or athlete in general matters. So you got to watch out for that stuff wholeheartedly. You got to watch out for that stuff tightly. So that's the latest update I got on Isaiah Buggs. If we have any more, I'll talk about it and I'll share it. I didn't really like talking about it, but I'll mention it some more. That's pretty much it and all we got for Pigskin Frenzy today. Guys, a big thank you for taking some time out of your Thursday to just sit back, watch, and listen to some NFL coverage presented by me. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like each episode, leave comments down below. Spotify, Podbean, and Apple, all you have to do is just share around with others and follow on there as well. Instagram, X, Facebook, just type in Pigskin Frenzy. Follow, like the pages there. You're going to get episode updates. You're going to get news and highlights from across college and NFL football. You're going to get trivia questions on Instagram stories. Go and answer today's NFL question, as well as all things up to date for Pigskin Frenzy. Guys, big thank you again. We have the website, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. Don't forget about that. Thank you to our partners at the Beer Club, our proud partnership with them for the podcast. Tuesday, we will be back Tuesday with another edition of College Football Day of Pigskin Frenzy, episode 131. We're going to still roll with our next round of conference standing projections, diving into the Power Four now and kicking it off with the Power Four conference standing projections with the ACC. You're not going to want to miss that Tuesday. Guys, I'm Joel Norris signing off. We will see you then Tuesday for a college football edition of Pigskin Frenzy. Have a great rest of your weekend. For everybody out there, please and always stay the course.